Okay, I'm going to try to make this as brief as possible, but you know I like to ramble. First, I want to preface this by saying I am taking off my Pan-African anarchist hat and putting on my collegiate poli-sci hat here, okay? First things first, we have to understand that one of these two numbers is a constant and one of these two numbers is the variable. We have to figure out which one's which, okay? So when we're looking at that 1.5 million that Trump gained, and we look at the trajectory of every single gain he has had from 2016 to 2020 and 2020 to now, that is on par. That is what we were expecting to happen. Okay, so that number is the constant, which means that the 13 million is not. That is the variable. That's the random motherfucker. So when we're looking at the exit polls, right, the exit polls are telling us that the majority of the people in that 13 million people who decided not to vote but did vote last election, those are white men. So when I tell y'all that this decision was entirely up to white America, I need y'all to understand just how thoroughly this was decided by white America. And to keep it a stack, that should have been obvious to everyone, because anything of consequence in this country cannot happen without white America deciding that it needs to happen. That's just the facts of the matter. We do not have the numbers. There's not enough black people. There's not enough Latinos. There's not enough Asians. There's not enough non-white people in this country to sway anything in any real manner. Okay? Either we ride the coattails or we pressure them enough to change their mind. That's the only thing we can do. Outside of that, everything else is out of our control. The only thing we as non-white people living on this stolen-ass land can do at this point is try our best to hunker down, protect our communities, and try to inoculate ourselves from the inevitable temper tantrum that white America is going to continue to throw. Because best believe this reckoning with whiteness started in 2008, and it's only escalated from here. And I will conclude with this. This country was always on the trajectory of fascism. Okay, to keep it a stack, this country was supposed to turn into a fascist nation back in 1910, 1920, 1930. But Adolf did what the fuck he did. Okay? He did what the fuck he did. And it allowed white America to pretend to be the good guys, despite the fact that most of what Adolf was doing was taken from here. Most of what he was allowed to do, a lot of his initial funding came from American coffers. Okay? That is what saved them. The fact that they wanted to pretend like they were actually the good guys and, well, Jews are not that bad as long as they consider themselves white. All of that shit was a facade that they had to tell themselves because they were about